Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's the 15th of April, 2026, and so much is going on, but so much is going on to distract you. What's happening in the Middle East is a massive distraction, but also part of the awakening process. When you've got two sides that are negotiating, or that's what we're being told, you've got one side that has no interest in war, and that would be Iran. They've never had any nuclear weapons. They've got no intention of having nuclear weapons. But you've got another side, which is the US corporation and its controllers, its handlers, who desperately want to dismantle Iran and its power and take control of the Middle East, who don't want peace, who want war. So when the negotiations go on in public with J.D. Vance and Jared Kushner and the rest of them, they keep having to make phone calls to their handlers in the Middle East, who tell them what they can and can't do. This is all part of the exposure. I have to be careful what I say, because otherwise you get banned, and if they can't ban you, they unalive you. They don't like being exposed, but this is all part of the exposure. This is what's happening right now. So be very careful what you digest from the news, because what you're seeing is not the truth. You've been through it before. You went through it with Iraq, because they were 100% sure there was weapons of mass destruction. And of course there wasn't. It's nothing to do with that. It was all to do with control of an area. And they're using the same playbook again. That Iran definitely has nuclear weapons and they don't. It's all lies. You're being lied to. But so when you look for the truth, you have to look within. You have to use common sense. You have to do your research and do it properly. Because what you're seeing and what you're being told is not the truth. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Donald Trump has sharply criticised the UK's energy strategy, calling it absolutely crazy that Britain is not expanding North Sea oil production. In a series of comments, he argued that Europe is struggling for energy while the UK is failing to fully utilise its own resources. Trump pointed to Norway's North Sea output, claiming it is profiting heavily, while the UK, despite its geographic advantage, is not drilling at scale. He also renewed criticism of wind energy, calling it a shift back towards oil production. The comments come amid ongoing debate over the UK's energy mix, balancing domestic production, renewables and climate commitments.
Well, this is one of the biggest mistakes that the UK's made in my lifetime, because the UK has an absolute abundance of natural gas, natural oil. They have an abundance of it in the North Sea. But instead, we've got a woke brigade that want solar energy in the UK, which is cloudy all the time, and they want wind farms that destroy the environment. This is put into place by people who haven't got a clue. They just have an ideology that they try and follow, but it's not based on fact. The simple fact of the matter is that the price of fuel in the UK could be way less than half, maybe a quarter of what it is now, if they used their own natural resources rather than buying it from other people. This is time for people to wake up. And this is all part of the awakening right now. The question I've asked for 5, 6, 7 years is, are you awake yet? Because if you're not, you're sleepwalking down the most dangerous path you could ever do so. It's time for people to wake up and see what's really happening. True.
Well, Charlie, staying in the UK, Britain's economic outlook has been downgraded more than any other major Economy in the latest update from the IMF. The warning raises fresh concerns over growth, inflation and the UK's position in an increasingly fragile global economy. Grab your gold, grab your silver and hide it under your mattress or maybe in your garden.
Well, this is a time to take responsibility because at the moment you're living in a country, the United Kingdom, which is a beautiful country, but it's being run by idiots. Just let that rest though for a second. The UK is being run by idiots. You only have to look back at what it used to be and what it's become. And this is what happens when you let people who don't know what they're doing run a beautiful country. It's very clear to me. I left there 43 years ago and nothing has changed for the positive in 43 years. If anything, it's got a lot worse. My heart goes out to people who live there. But those days are over in the UK of when you get really angry writing a letter. It's time now for you to stand up against these people. And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't take a lot because these people are not strong. These people are wimps. They're bullies. The only reason they're in power is because you allowed them to be there. When you let that sink in, you'll realize that you have the power to remove these people who've destroyed your life, destroyed your economy, destroyed your children's lives. It's now time to wake up and take back what is rightfully yours and utilize what you have. As Drew pointed out earlier, the abundance that you have of natural resources in oil and gas in the North Sea that you're not using, that you're becoming dependent on other people's, which cost 3-4 times the price. I mean, who in their right mind would do that? Why do so many people leave the UK? Because it's run badly. I'll leave you with that thought. That was the news. On Wednesday, the 15th of April, join the Insiders Club for stuff we cannot talk about on here because we'll get banned about what's really going on in the world right now. We'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.